Texas at Florida in the swamp, man. Arch Manning, it's your time now, baby. If it's going to happen for you this year for Texas, this would be the spot where you would like to see some, some momentum heading into Red River. I digress. For Texas, this is a chance, I think, to kind of redefine who you are, if you will. Because the last game we saw that was really worth watching from you was the Ohio State game. Okay, so you didn't look awesome against UTEP. The boos broke out. Okay, whatever. Now you're playing in the SEC. Now you're going to one of the toughest venues in the SEC. If you can look convincing in this spot, I don't know if Florida's that great, but their defense is good. I know that much. So a chance to kind of redefine who you are. Maybe hit the reset button a little bit on what your season has been to this point. I say all that, and you still got one loss. For Florida, getting late early, man. Like if there was ever a spot to show something, to show some urgency, to show some of what we talked about all offseason long with your football team. Kept saying how they finished the year strong, and DJ Lagway is this and he's that, and the line of scrimmage for Florida, all those things. This would be the spot to show that against that team in Texas, against that roster, and that head coach is Steve Sarkisian. So I'm just warning y'all, man. I think the over-under total for the game is like 43.5, something disgusting. That's a number you usually see whenever like Iowa's playing. Okay, so this game could be just disgusting. Like take a shower after level of disgusting. The Florida offense has got to help DJ Lagway out. As much as DJ Lagway has been, I'm trying to think of even the right way to phrase this, disappointing in the context of this season, you can't have him throwing 35 passes a game. You can't. Like Florida offensively isn't even built to do that. Like they're built to do what? Run the football, create ideal down and distance, get the ball in their playmakers' hands whenever the defense overcommits. That's what Florida's built to do. They have not done that this year. That's why you're where you're at when it comes to number of passes averaged a game. Now, I understand that the LSU data point in there with 49 passes in that game kind of skews that number a little bit. You hear what I'm saying? You got to help DJ Lagway out here if you're Florida. Both on the line of scrimmage, at the playmaker position, play calling spot, Billy Napier. Like, we got to help him out and give him spots where we're not asking DJ Lagway to go win the game against this Texas defense, okay? What I'd like to see here from Florida is, one, commit to the run game. Okay, we said it all offseason, how good Florida's offensive line was supposed to be, how good Jaden Ball was supposed to be. All right, let's see it. You're at home in a spot where your back's against the wall, more than against the wall. Let's go prove something there. Other thing I'd like to see, as much as I'd like to see the line of scrimmage be dictated by Florida, I have a hard time thinking they're just going to go up there and boss up against Texas. So I'd like to see a little bit of creativity in the perimeter run game here. Or heck, even the perimeter pass game. If we're going to go ahead and get the ball out of DJ Lagway's hands quick and get it to Vernell Brown in space, Trey Wilson in space, you got to have something to get this defense, I think, of Texas rocking and rolling just a little bit. Let's have something to circle the defense here, get it in our best players' hands, and then one Trey Wilson, and we'll live that way. For Texas, it feels like a fairly simplistic breakdown to me on that side of the football for them. The competitive plays may decide this thing on 3rd and short and 4th and short. Like legit. I could see a world where it is just a gross, low-scoring game. Maybe neither quarterback really gets going. And similar to the Ohio State game, where it came down to a goal line stop for Ohio State and a goal line win for Ohio State on the offensive side, which is the side of the game, like it might be that kind of world that Texas has to live in this spot. So the big thing here is, can you win those competitive plays on 3rd and short and 4th and short? Big Colin Simmons looking at you, brother. Big Anthony Hill looking at you, brother. And then can you keep from falling asleep at the wheel when it comes to the explosives? Because I'll tell you what, it could be a boring first 3.5 quarters. But when it comes to crunch time, I promise you, DJ Lagway, Billy Napier, as much as you want to talk about what the offense hasn't done this year, they still have some speed on the outside that can hurt you if you get a little too aggressive playing the run and get a little bit too comfortable just triggering downhill. So, has to be the case there. Don't fall asleep at the wheel with explosives, and then win on the 3rd and short and 4th and short. I think that will decide the game. Now, offensively for Texas, kind of the same story. It's going to be a disgusting game plan. And not in the good sense. Like, it's going to be just a gross game plan. Texas on the year is averaging 58% of the time running the football. You say, JD, well, it's because we played a lot of nobodies. Yeah, I hear you, but even against Ohio State, like, that was sort of the only sustainable offensive option for you, right? A couple of explosives downfield, but for the most part, like, I think Texas knows who they are here. And I keep saying this, but like this is the game where I'm really going to have more of a definitive take on who Arch Manning is coming away. I think Arch Manning could be serviceable in this spot, but just what I said about Florida and DJ Lagway, I don't want Arch Manning to have to go win the game for us here. Like if either quarterback is going for 300-plus yards in this spot, that team's going to win the game. I don't think that's going to happen. My thing I want to ask of Arch Manning here is, can we set you up for success? Can we use you running the football? And then when there is an overcommitment from the Florida defense, can you cash in on the back end? Like, Arch, we're not going to ask a lot of you here. Maybe physically we will running the football, but we're not going to ask a lot of you throwing the football. But we need you now, when we have Florida overcommitted, when we have it set up, can you hit on the cash-in throws? If he can, Texas will win. If not, this game gets really ugly, really interesting in the fourth quarter with Texas favored by a touchdown here. So, defensively for Florida, kind of the same thing we said for Texas. Like, it's a grown man's game. It's no secret what Texas is going to do offensively. They're going to run downhill. They're going to make you commit to the box. It really is kind of an inverse of what we said for Texas on the defensive side. Limit explosives. Be sure tackling in space. It feels a lot like Steve Sarkisian, the play caller, has a couple of tricks up his sleeve here. There's still a lot of good skill players for Texas, most notably Ryan Wingo. Can we get him involved, Texas? Can we find ways to get him the football in space and get him downhill with a head of steam on the perimeter against this Florida secondary? In that situation, Florida, that can't be how you lose the game. It can't be because Ryan Wingo had a couple of explosives that puts you out to pasture. That can't be the way that you live. So with it being gross and with it being just a weird game to break down because you're really not sure what you're getting from either quarterback, I think that the Miami tape for Florida is what concerns me, because Carson Beck didn't have his best game in that spot, and Miami still just imposed their will, ran the football, commanded the line of scrimmage, and that was how they won the game. I think Texas can do that. They're deep at the running back spot. Line of scrimmage, I think, for Texas on the defensive side is as advertised at this point. I think Texas also, quite frankly, is the better coach team. I feel better in a one-down game with Texas having the football. I like Steve Sarkisian dialing it up more than I like Billy Napier dialing it up. So for that reason, I'll take Texas to win. I'll take Texas to cover. Final score, Texas 24, Florida 17. So if that line keeps dropping to like Texas -6, Texas -5.5, go ahead and take it to cover. But if it starts to swing back towards the home team at any point this week, I don't like it more than a touchdown favoring Texas. So one-score game, Texas wins. Rock out, man. Going to be a fun one. Cato, what do you think about this game, man? There's a lot of things to break down with it, but what are you watching closely in this spot?
JD, I still just can't get over the fact that we are looking at this game and talking about which offense can help their quarterback the most to win. Like the fact that we're in week 5 of this season, and for both of these quarterbacks, we're sorry, getting choked up talking about bad quarterbacks.
It's an emotional topic. It is.
Yeah, it's just still so bizarre to me that both of these guys that we looked upon as like the reason you felt good about either of these teams had to do with them being the catalyst, and now asking both of their offensive lines and skill players and running backs to like push them through the finish line is still so crazy to me. What if we're wrong? I told you that one team was going to win this game and it's because their quarterback played at a level that we were more expecting this year. Which quarterback, I guess, would you think that would be?
I would think it'd be DJ Lagway. But when you say that, I'm also like, I think Arch can do more for you on the ground. And so I feel better given that, prompt. DJ Lagway, I've seen him do more exciting things than Arch Manning, but I think you can call the game for Arch Manning a little bit easier, which sounds bizarre to say out loud, but I think you can call the game easier for him with the mobility on the ground.
No, we watched DJ get several big SEC wins late last year. So him, it feels like he's closer to doing that potentially, but then you have the 5 interception game and it's like, all right, what do I even think of this guy? And then same with Arch Manning, up till this point hasn't played great against a true good SEC team. So not saying Florida's that, but their defense is good. So it'd be cool if one of them could pop in this game and get it rolling, but what a disappointment, I guess, for both of these quarterbacks if this turns into a game where or a season for both of them really, where it's the supporting cast bringing them along versus them being the one to elevate it. Just so interesting to me still 5 weeks into the season.
And I think that supporting cast for Texas is why I lean Texas. Like, if it comes down to Sark dialing up a couple of winners, if it comes down to the Texas defense getting a defensive score, kind of like it did against LSU for Florida. Like, if it comes down to the margins here and DJ Lagway and Arch Manning is just a wash, I lean Texas for those reasons.
Crazy, man, crazy. Them being a wash and just it counted, the game counting on everyone but the quarterbacks would just be insane to me. But can't wait to see it. I said in the 25 questions segment, like, never been more excited for a game for all the wrong reasons ever. Like, not because it's some big time ranked matchup or anything like that. Just like, what will we get from these two quarterbacks that so far have not lived up to the hype this year is something I can't wait to watch.